Good morning, citizens. Good morning. Good morning. Today is a holiday. I didn't even realize that a lot of you guys are not going to be up because it is a holiday. I believe it's, is it Columbus Day, Indigenous People Day? I don't know what they call it now, but it is a federal holiday. So I totally forgot that a lot of y'all won't be here this morning. Good morning, girly. I appreciate you being here. I've been MIA for a week now, so I know a lot of you guys don't know that I was back. I know DFJ did a show letting y'all know that I'd probably be back Monday. I have just been super, super swamped. Good morning, Aunt Lala. Got a couple of y'all coming in here. I was just saying that I forgot that it was a holiday, so probably won't have that big of a crowd because people aren't getting up for work. At the beach is here. Oh, good to see everyone again. I sound tired. I know it's been a crazy, crazy week. And at the end of this, maybe we'll discuss what kind of streaming I'm going to be doing next to try and keep up because it's really hard to upkeep. I had text Perez. I believe it was like last week sometime. I was like, how do you do it? Because, him and Just Plain Zach and Dana, they all have daily shows. And it's really, really hard to keep up with the daily shows and produce them and everything and get all the stuff. Um, and then, like still balance real life and everything that's going on around in the real world. So, and his advice is like, there is no balance. He's like family first, then work, and then everything else if you have time. So, um, yeah, it's just been crazy hectic. Shanonos is a member. Thank you so much. Good morning. Thanks for being a member. If you're not a member already, you get this cool little badge next to your name, and you get one free super chat a month for that, as well as just supporting the StreamYard software that I use for the program. Shanona says, I still have work. It's a banking holiday, but not a stock market. Okay. Uh, Jane is here. Hey, girl. I've been wondering about you. I did respond to you, didn't I, Jane? I thought I did. I thought I told you. Oh, no, Lala. I tripped on the lawnmower. I can't chat, but I'm listening. Oh my gosh. That giggle wasn't for it's not funny, but I was just like, "Oh my gosh, like that's crazy." That is so crazy. I hope you feel better, Aunt Lala. Thank you for tuning in. I didn't mean to chuckle. I think I just when I read it, I was like, "Holy crap." Like that's how it happens. 2 ribs and 2 broken. Wow. So you must be laid up. Well, hopefully you enjoyed today's episode because the sleuths were sleuthing. I got all the information. I was up pretty late last night and really up really early in the morning to try and get the show out to you guys today because I was like, oh, I might have to do a night show or I might have to do the show tomorrow. But I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go on. I have like 40 different tabs. So we'll see how much we get through. And if not, we'll do like a part 2 or we can, put it off to tomorrow. But I mean, I sleuthed a bunch, and then there was some from Super Sleuth. Shout out to yes, praying for you, Aunt Lala. Definitely gonna pray for you and anyone else who's watching, because that's crazy. Oh, it's Bizio, it's Miriam. I always say it's Bizio, but I missed y'all last week. Love Miriam. Yeah, we missed you guys too. I missed you guys too. I wish there was a way where I could still interact with y'all. And that's why I was thinking, well, we'll talk about it at the end, but because I did a TikTok what was it, Saturday morning when this dropped, and it was just quick and easy. I got on with Bocce, and I think it was like for 20 minutes or so, but it was super quick, with doing the shows and having it streamlined like this, like where it's like a program. It's a lot harder to put together, but it's a lot easier to just go in person. So maybe I'll start, going into vertical instead of doing the programs or something, but we'll figure it out. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. We have a pretty okay crowd now. We have about 20 of y'all watching this morning. So thank y'all for coming back to watch me and support me and all that stuff. So the show today is called Another Simple Favor. It's in regards to Claire Ayoub, who is the mystery declarant. Claire Ayoub, and the production was Empire Waste. So we finally figured it out. If you guys don't remember or do remember, if you guys remember, did I close that tab? Let me see if I can find it. It was echoing. Let me see. Let me go back to it because I did a video on the mystery declarant and I did close it, but I'm gonna pull it up. I'm just bear with me because I'm, still getting used to doing these shows. So this morning it's just, and I woke up at like 6 to try and get it all together for you guys. But here's the mystery declarant post. Let me share the let me share the screen. Let me see, skip. Can you guys see it? Let me see if you can see it. I gotta check. Okay, yeah. Let me put myself down here so I'm small so you guys can see.
Good morning, citizens, and
That's me. So that was
thank you
the mystery declarant
for more
episode. And there was a part where I do say, I believe it's at the end, it's at 102. Um, so I did have Claire in the mystery declarant tier list, and I'll show you where she was at the end here, but this is a little bit where I talk about who it was and what was going on, so or why I thought it was her. I don't know if you can hear it. Can you guys hear it? Or is it me?
Oh, no, I had them in B tier. Um,
So this is where I'm
that it
saying I
could
had
be
her in B.
them. Maybe I'll move them up to A tier, but
And I should have moved her up.
this one just fits all of them. She stopped working with him. She wasn't on the set anymore. But some people said no because he had control over Man Enough and the production and stuff. But if she was also part of
Well, this is
that
me
and
talking
she
about
asked, I
listed.
don't want him to be a part of it anymore. And then, Jamie
I think it's a little
and them said, okay, that's fine, to avoid things, and maybe they were trying to keep her. So anyways, that's the final tier list. If you guys, dear Fritz, my love, come help. It's like 9 to 10 short unless they spelt out 3.
Sorry, I was at 1.
See, Eleanor the Great, it's too long to fit here.
So we were trying to figure
So
out
that's why I was
what
like, it can't be. Code 3, I feel like is too short unless they spelt out 3. The one movie, Empire, was it called Empire Waste or?
So this is where I get it.
Empire Waste. I feel like that could fit here in Empire Waste marketing. So that's why I was like, I have them in A tier.
Yeah, you were saying the senior, but it wasn't the senior. It ended up being
Oh no, I had them in B tier.
it ended up being Empire Waste.
That it could be them. Maybe I'll move them up to A tier, but this one just fits all of them. She stopped working with him. She
So
wasn't
I
on the
was
set
thinking about
anymore.
moving them up to A tier, and
have
then over here, hold on, at 106.
Whose channel was it up? Can I catch up on that live? I think it with
This
TikTok
is
it
who we
just goes
had.
live, and
Hold on.
or Sarah or any of those folks.
So this is who we had as the mystery declarant. Under B tier, you see this red background with the lady in the dress. This is Claire. So I had her under B tier. And then I had a Wayfair employee there. I had Liz Plank as who I thought it would be. And then the Sony executives were in A tier. But I did have another guy from Wayfair down here in C tier. His name's Andy and Blue Fox Entertainment. And so we had all the players here. We just didn't have them correctly. So Claire should have been S tier because she ended up being the one who was the declarant. Blue Fox Entertainment is the company that was behind Empire Waste. So we're going to take a closer look at them as well and their involvement in all of this as far as the timeline. And then Andy was part of Wayfair with Justin Baldoni when they did the movie. So I was wondering if maybe he was part of the "and associates" part in the declaration, where it says that, she had, these experiences with Baldoni and his associates, because he was part of it, and then there was another girl, from Wayfair, who also was part of the producers. So I'm wondering if, along with Steve Sarowitz, so I'm wondering if those three were the associates. I don't know, but anyways, that's just a cool little nugget that we had Claire on our radar, thanks to citizen sleuths like Little Nomad. It was a TikToker when I was on the live. So right before this, it's funny because y'all are wondering who this is at the bottom. At the bottom there, it's Matthew Lawrence and the Lawrence brothers, because it was so funny. We started talking about the Lawrence brothers for some reason while we were doing the sleuthing work. Everyone was on their computers. It was me, Little Girl Attorney, Bocce Gohawks, Katie Pope, Katie Inc., Sarah, and Elsrich. And we were all on our laptops, like, just trying to sleuth it out, and then for some reason, we started talking about, the Lawrence brothers, and Elsrich was like, "Oh, Martin Lawrence, is he one of the Lawrence brothers?" And so it was just a joke, so that's why I have Martin Lawrence and then the Lawrence brothers there at the bottom. But some of the people that we had said it wasn't was Robin Lively, Ryan Reynolds, Blake Lively. I had this of a simple favor of her with her triplet or whatever, 'cause some people said it was just one of Blake's other personalities, so I put that in there. Isabella, and then some cinematographer guy that I worked with him a long time ago. Those are all D tiers, but anyways, just a little nugget before we get into the real stuff. So shout out to DFJ for holding down the fort this weekend. I wasn't around, and she held down the fort and actually had a really, really great video. Let me share this with tons of great questions that we're going to try and answer. So her video answers some of them. Some of them were left unanswered, but she made a follow-up video with more questions. So we're going to go through those questions. Does Claire know Lively? So we don't know if she knows Lively, but we do know that she did like a post of Lively's. So that's the big tea that we're spilling this morning. I don't know if anybody else has reported on it. Little Nomad was up late last night. If you guys don't follow Little Nomad, I don't think I have a um let me put her, I don't think I have a mod today because Laura has not been around. She's got real life stuff too, but there's it's at Past Nomad on X. Follow her. She's a super sleuth. Love her. I'm gonna give her a lot of credit on this one, so you'll hear her name a lot. Because she was up late sleuthing, and most of this is like from her. It's her work. And then also, DFJ has some really good questions that also incited for me to do a deep dive. So some of it is, piggybacking, and that's how the sleuth community works. We piggyback off of, what other people are sleuthing, and then that gives us an idea. Then we go check. Um, yes, Jesse and Max, that's true. Why is it's so big? I don't know, my media assets got messed up, so I'm like, look how big the comments are. Let me see if I can fix that super, super quickly, quickly. There. Okay. She took 4 years to make Empire Waste because Claire got mad that her first agents told her it needed some men in it to make it believable, LOL. So she took it and said, F you. Yes. Um, she had a clip on there, DFJ, on her second video, the one about bats, in regards to this, where Claire talks about the agent. But it's so funny because I found 2 other videos where she tells the same exact story. It was almost like a script to her, where she's like, "And then I told my managers, like, F off." So basically, they were saying that it had too many women in it, and it wasn't gonna appeal to men. And so she was like, "Oh, what do they know?" Blah, blah, blah. And yeah. And remember, Claire gave the recording to BL without, oh, good. Hey, Roman, without Ezra issuing a subpoena, hence the Bates number starting with BL. Yes. So that's another thing that was uncovered by the super sleuths, that the Bates stamp said BL. NAG did a video on it as well, saying that it's probably, mutual. And we'll go into why we think it's mutual when I show you these screenshots here. Let me just see any other comments. Okay, no, we don't have any other comments. So some of the questions was if she knew Lively. And if so, when did Claire first speak with Lively? So this is what I have for that, okay? We have these screenshots, and Little Nomad is still sleuthing, so there could be more coming. We don't know. Because just when you think that, here we go. Just when you think that it doesn't go back far enough, with Liz Plank, we went back as far as 2023, and we end up finding a connection all the way back. So I'll give you guys my theory, because my theory is that Claire was parasocial, kind of like a pick-me. That's what this could be, or it could be that she knew him. But let's go ahead and start from the very first like. So we found out that Claire, even you can see here, I don't know if I can zoom into it, but probably not. Let me see. Because when I make it bigger, you can't see the date, but you see February 4th there. Let me see. Yeah, see, you can't see it if I make it bigger. And I don't know how to like zoom into it from a picture, but basically it says liked by Claire Ayoub. I don't know if y'all can see that. No, maybe, yes. If y'all can see it, let me know. Sorry. But it says liked by Claire Ayoub. That's her Instagram. This is Blake Lively's repost from Prime Video on February 4th. Now, if you guys remember the affidavit, or not the affidavit, but the words from the recording first came out in February 25th. So let me pull that up real quick. We're going to be going back and forth because it's kind of like erratic. It's like a Charlie Day board. So sorry about that. Let me remove that and add this. I tried to put it in order, but it was hard to go in order because everything kind of like coincides. So this is the first amended complaint where he says he declared, I will protect the studio like blank protected itself from blank. There were 39,000 bodies. There will be 2 bodies when I'm done, minimum, not dead, but you're dead to me. So that kind of dead, but dead to a lot of people. If they ever get me to that point, then I'll make it worth their while because I'm going to spend a lot of money to make sure the studio is protected. So that was in the first amended complaint, but it was not in the original complaint. And shout out to DFJ for pointing that out, because the timeline does matter in all of this. Because if you think about it, Sarowitz still has this recording. I know it doesn't matter for SH stuff and all that, but it matters when it comes to the malice and whether it was intentional, whether she was working with other people. And just, I don't know, for me, it's just a Roman Empire. I just want to know like how this happened. So that's why I'm doing the timeline stuff. So you guys see in this one, that one was paragraph 26 in the first amended complaint. This is the original complaint. Paragraph 8 is where it talks about Steve Sarowitz. It barely talks about Sarowitz in the original one. His name's only mentioned, I think, like 8 times, as opposed to like, I don't know, 18 times in the FAC. So here it just talks about how he told someone at the August 6th premiere that he would ruin lives. And it was a WME person, or let me see the plan. No, it just says that he divulged to somebody. I always get it mixed up with the WME guy at Deadpool. So it says, Mr. Baldoni and his Wayfair associates embarked on a sophisticated press and digital plan. So that's all it says, but it doesn't go into the recording. So suffice to say that either they didn't have the recording at this time yet, or they did have it and then just didn't put it in. But then why wouldn't they put it in? So back to our screenshot, y'all. Oh, there's Miley. Thank you for checking in on me. Happy Monday, Mama de Tia. Yes. Thank you, ACC, for pointing out. She wanted to say that she thought SS was actually going to unalive her. In her deposition, she even says, like, I was scared for my life. And then he says again, like, wait, so you took it literal? And so it's weird that she took it literal when, if you go back and look at the quote, he even says in the recording, like, this is not literal. Like, this is me saying, like, you're dead to me or whatever. He was basically saying like it would be unforgiving. And that's why he used that simile, which I'm sorry I can't say the words because I don't want to get shadow banned or anything. But he compared those 2 countries or 2 things that were going on. And a lot of people said it was in bad taste or whatever. But he was making a simile about it not being like unforgiving or whatever. And it says, Imagine having to keep up with all the lies. Yes, ACC, imagine. That would be so crazy. Like, ugh, I can't imagine. Okay. Um, so we're gonna get into sorry. Oh, back to the stage. Okay, so sorry. I'm getting too ahead of myself. Okay, so here's the first one, right? So that one was February 4th. And then she filed it on let me do it this way so you can see the date. February 4th. Then she files it on February 25th. Or no, February 18th is the first amended complaint. Is when she filed it. So she likes this post and then automatically shows up February 18th after liking this post. And then she goes on a liking spree. Let's keep going. She likes this March 11th post. Blake Lively watching A Simple Favor opening night. She likes this March 11th post. Final Austin roundup for A Simple Favor. She likes this March 11th post of Blake Lively in the pink outfit. So that's 4 posts confirmed that she likes, maybe more. I don't know. Nomad sent these to me way late at night, so I don't know if she still sleuthed it out. I didn't have time to sleuth anything out because I was basically just putting the show together of what everyone else had sleuthed, and then some pieces that I kind of sleuthed as I went. But that's going to be a deep dive. But for sure, there is a connection there, whether it's parasocial and Claire was just liking her posts, or whether Blake knew her by this time. Because the timeline, like I said, it's February. This is the first time you see her liking something, or at least that's how far back Nomad went. So that answers that question that she had about Claire. And then she says, let me add this one to the stage. Thank you, Elizabeth. And this is also at Little Nomad, she's at Past Nomad on X. If you guys want to follow her, this is a lot of her work. So these screenshots are from her. She's been helping me sleuth because I seriously don't have the time to sleuth everything out as deep as I want to. Like I wanted to be on the chat on Saturday. I wanted to be like involved with y'all over the weekend, but I've just been super, super busy. Hey, Wrathful. The whole crew is here, huh? Okay, so we have those screenshots, and then the rest of let me remove this one. Let me add this to the stage again. Let me just add this to the stage. Hold on. Add to stage. Okay, here we go. And then make myself smaller. Bear with me with all the tech. Okay, so the third one was, why did she need to address Baldoni's behavior in 2024 if filming wrapped up in 2021? And then I guess she's talking about the marketing. This is because there was going to be marketing. A lot of people think it was because there was fat shaming in these news stories. August 14th, TMZ dropped a news story saying that there was fat shaming from Baldoni to Blake, and maybe she thought the optics wouldn't be good for the marketing of her movie that dealt with body weight. So that could be why she brought it up again in 20. So it says, when did Claire first meet Liz Plank? So now we're attempting to answer that question. And the Super Sleuth came out. Justice for BJS posted, no shock there. Claire Ayoub and Liz Plank connection. So she follows Liz Plank. Liz Plank does not follow her back. If she unfollowed her, maybe, we don't know if she ever followed her, but she's never liked any post. And Little Nomad is going like into a super deep dive as far as how many posts, and I'll read it to you in a minute because I have to pull up the text messages of, she's going way, way back, because I kept thinking like, okay, it might go further than that. And then she's like, oh my gosh, you're right. It might go further than that. So she started going far back, and we'll get into that. So there's definitely a connection here where Claire, at the very least, follows Liz, right? And then we have this that I'm sure everyone has already seen, which is Liz Plank and V Spihar is this person on the left over here. They were on some kind of podcast with Liz. And so I don't know if this is him shouting out like viewers, you know how like I shout like you guys out or whatever, or if this is actually people they know. But it says, "Thank you, Tom, Deidre, and then Claire Ayoub, and many others for tuning into my live video with Liz Plank." So I don't know if that's just, some of his like more like bigger supporters or subscribers, and he's shouting them out, or if they know each other. But there's Claire's name attached to something that has to do with Liz. So that's why I was thinking, like, is it just like a parasocial type of thing where she was just following Liz? Because I haven't seen Liz like any of her posts. Liz doesn't follow her. Um, but all of Claire's friends in Substack follow Liz. And then just other people that are in her circle on Instagram, I saw that followed Liz as well. So I don't know why Liz doesn't follow her or what, but um, so this is her Substack right here. This is Claire's Substack. And one of the things that I've been sleuthing is how she posted. So she just posted this a couple days ago. This was in October. What day was this? October 8th. So she came back and posted this. I guess she's doing some speaking conferences, plugging a bunch of stuff. Um, but I will be sending Empire Waste mini posters. She's talking about all the stuff that she's going to attend, and she's doing this screenwriting class for kids on the 18th. Um, petting donkeys. She talks about how she's been traveling a bunch, reconnecting with friends in the Bahamas, family in Montreal, and friends in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Massachusetts. It's been a real healing year. And you have to ask yourself, okay, she's traveling all this. I don't know. I have questions about all the traveling, and I have questions because traveling isn't cheap. Um, but this is all allegedly in our opinions only. Don't sue us, anybody. We're just sleuthing. So, anyways, this is hers. One of the things that I found interesting was, oh, this is some stuff that she was restacking. Oh, I haven't even seen all the restacks. On accidentally quitting Instagram and producing a new project on August 3rd. So she comes back on August 3rd because she left Instagram in August. She stopped posting. So I don't know. I'm still sleuthing that whole timeline out. But sorry, I hadn't seen any of these restacks. I'm wondering if there's any Easter eggs in here. Um, but anyway, she had stopped posting in her actual posts. The last one she had was April 2nd, and I tried to sleuth out what was going on around April 2nd, 2025, and that's when I found that there was some Simple Favor stuff news going around, and I forget what it was, but Simple Favor actually premiered prior to that in March 11th, but April, I believe, is when it went on Prime or something. But anyways, that's how I ended up sleuthing the Simple Favor stuff, and then Nomad had sleuthed it further. But then, okay, so the Liz Plank connection. So we had assholemedia.com. So shout out to Asshole Media. We're going to get into their sleuthing, which was pretty incredible. Let me look at the chat real quick, make sure that everybody is here. And what do y'all have to say? Let me see. Her YouTube was uploaded 6 years ago, and then all of a sudden last month there's been a bunch of videos. Yeah, so that's another weird thing we'll have to sleuth out. Um Tighten what up, Jesse and Max? Sorry, I hate the silences. When I rewatch myself, I'm like, I'm super quiet when I'm reading. You'll have to tighten what up. I don't know what I missed something. I knew Liz Plank would end up being more involved in this nonsense somehow, says Elena. She's always somehow like involved. So, anyways, okay, so this is the blacklist. Let me see if that's the first one. Okay. So what is the blacklist? Okay, this is what he said, puzzle pieces. Or I don't know if it's a he or she, they, assholemedia.com. Puzzle pieces. Ryan Reynolds had a script in the Blacklist 2021 called Killer Instinct. Also, Ryan gave Liz that public Instagram shout out 2019. Same year, Claire Ayoub listed her script. Same year, Justin optioned It Ends With Us. So yeah, 2019 is a weird year for all of them. Seems like a bunch of big things happened. So in 2019, Claire Ayoub, she didn't land on the blacklist for that year, but she did this thing called the Blacklist Lab, where she was able to write her script with other writers from like Legally Blonde and Bring It On. And so he's connecting all these people through the blacklist. She ends up thanking Franklin Leonard in one of it, and I don't know which one it is, so I'm gonna get to it when we get to that one, but, I'm just gonna go through these in order as I have them, and then we'll jump back and forth. But Franklin Leonard, put a pin on that name. So he's, it's been published by him, and it's basically a list of screenplays that have not yet been produced. Well, she wasn't on the actual list, but it seems like Ryan Reynolds was on that list in 2021, and he says, and then Liz Plank was on the Blacklist podcast in 2019 with Franklin Leonard. And this is around the same time. Um, it says in February 2020 as well, Leonard and Plank participated in an online discussion on X regarding journalism. So she knows Leonard. That's 2 times she was on the podcast and then on a Twitter discussion. And then, but this Apple podcast that she's talking about, or they're talking about, I don't know if it's a he or she, is dated September 19th, 2019, which was a couple weeks after um, Claire did her Blacklist Lab with Franklin. Or I don't know if he was there, but she at least thanked him, so I'm assuming he was there. So they were already in close proximity, if not knowing each other by this time, I would think, because they're running in the same circles, literally weeks apart. And she does follow her from way back then. There's likes from way back then. We'll get into all the likes, but here's the play that was on the screenplay. It's called Killer Instinct. It was by this woman called Lou something. I forget. I think I have it over here in my tabs. A bigger screenshot of it. But the agency, it was UTA, and these were the agent, and the producers were Maximum Effort, which is Ryan Reynolds' company. And so he's adjacent to the blacklist as well. This was in 2021. This would be when filming wrapped for Empire Waste. It wrapped at the end of November. And so this is December 13th of that same year when filming wrapped. So we're just kind of putting together this little timeline for just us sleuths that get, want to know exactly who was who and what was what during this time. So yeah, hers was the number one comedy on the blacklist and was selected for the Blacklist Lab in 2019. So here it is, 2019 Blacklist Lab writer on how she developed the film. Okay, so you see this now on Medium. This article, it is no longer available. If you go to click it, it says, oops, we couldn't find that page. So I don't know if it's because they don't want no connection to the blacklist or whatever, but I ended up going on the Wayback Machine and it pops up and then really quickly disappears and says 505, whatever, something went wrong. But what I did was, like, right when it pops up, I click like select all copy. And so I copied it onto my notepad and I have it, which I don't know how to share it with you guys, but I'll figure out a way to do that. But it's pretty compelling because it's like her talking about how she got Empire Waste funded. And there's a couple little nuggets in there, but anyways, that's one of the things we're going to get into. Hold on, let's see. Let me share this one again, and then sorry this is so scattered, but this is how I felt when I was doing it. So y'all getting the full sleuth Charlie Day treatment. Um, so this was separate from the Blacklist annual survey of the best plays. Liz Plank was also selected for the 2016 Blacklist Feature Screenwriters Lab. So she was also part of the Blacklist from as early as 2016. And so that's all he wrote, or they wrote. And you have the Bushbirds here saying, Mommy sleuthing like nobody else. The sleuthing, brilliant work on finding it. Yes, brilliant work on this connection, because it does take us back to 2019 with Claire and Liz. And then we have this tab, which, okay, so Claire basically says that this all happened sometime late August, this recording, or early September, I'm thinking, right? The recording with Sarowitz. Well, someone else found a screenshot from September 24th, which was one of the showings that they had, like an earlier showing. But the movie didn't premiere till the 27th, and this is something posted by Wayfair Theaters, in which, we had a blast last week. So it was, so it must have been that same week. So they reposted it on October 22nd. So she had replied to the first one when it was the Empire Way screening. She had replied, and I'll see if I can pull up that screenshot. But this is another time when it was reposted, and then she still is over here hearting it. If you can see, Claire Ayoub, 4 little hearts. So she had the problem, and there's Blue Fox Entertainment who distribute it. Let me see, and there she is at the Wayfair event. Some people will say, "Yes, but this was just her marketing, like, she has to do it," but she didn't have to put hearts. She didn't put hearts on Justin Baldoni's post when he posted about the event or about the premiere. I think he only posted one flyer, and it was, just saying, like, "Now out in theaters on September 27th," but she didn't post or like any of that, but she did here. Maybe because it was just Wayfair, but, this is October 2nd already of 2024. So if, she was off-putted, because there is a theory. Here's our next theory. We're gonna get into our next theory. Let me pause real quick. Um, oh, thank you, Rosetta. I missed you guys too. Thank you, showing love from Australia. And I know I never gave y'all the rebel tea. It got kind of dark, and I'm assuming I might get back to it, but it's some dark territory, some pretty scary territory. Some people who were reporting on it had, videos and stuff. So I don't know. But thank you for the support from Australia, and we'll see. We'll see if we can safely report on the Rebel versus Ghost here soon. I hope now it's out there. People won't trust Claire because of this underhanded way of acting. I don't see how she did that and put wait, Jesse and Max, your asshole media? Oh my gosh. Okay, I love it. Jesse and Max. I did not make that connection. Well, shout out to you. Y'all go follow. Do you have any YouTube videos? Follow Jesse and Max, assholemedia.com. They're great. They always send me stuff. They're one of my super sleuths that I work with. I know that Laura sometimes is like, asshole wants you to see this. I said asshole, asshole media. Wants you to see this or whatever. So them, and then I get a lot of stuff from Little Nomad, and I'm missing someone. I get another person from Instagram that sends me stuff. But yeah, thank you so much, Jesse, for so now I get it. I'll tighten it up. Yeah, and I have a little bit more stuff on that Liz Plank stuff, I think, as well. I'm gonna see what tabs I have open here. But we're getting into an hour already, so I don't know. We'll see how much we can get through. Because now we're gonna get into the screenshots of Liz Plank. So this is what she has found so far with Liz Plank. Hold on. Is this it? No. Did I not pull him up over here? Okay, I think it's this one. So the closest we found was this one. So this is October 22nd, we started to go backwards. This is October 22nd, 2020. Claire liked this post by Liz Plank, and it was about Justin Baldoni. And this is the only post she liked in 2020, I believe. And then we have this post on August 22nd. So she says that in August of 2024, the likes start ramping up. Let me see if I can read while we have this up. If I can read the messages while we have this up. Hold on. So she is basically saying, okay, Liz never liked anything on Claire's Instagram. And then, sorry guys, I'm just trying to. So 2019, she only liked the post 3 times, pretty minimal, especially because Liz averaged about 25 posts per month. In 2020, she only liked 1 post, and it was that one, the Justin Baldoni post that you guys see right here. So we think that they might have known each other since 2019. Let me pull up that Justin Baldoni one again. So this is the only post. So she likes 3 in 2019, and then she likes this one in 2020. And I don't know if she screenshotted the 2019 ones or what, because she's still sleuthing and stuff. And I don't know if she's gonna do a thread. Hopefully she threads it all up, because that would be interesting for X to just have it all in a thread. But so here we have the 2020 post, the only one she liked, and it's about Justin says, my wife Emily jokingly asked our daughter to point at the TV and pick which person she wanted to be president, and when the moderator Kristen Walker showed up on the screen, she yelled her. And then feminist said, the only take I'm accepting, and Claire liked that. So that was the only one that she liked in 2020. And then Little Matt says, in 2021, things start to get more interesting. She starts to like things more, and then September 4th, in September, she likes 4, she likes, okay, so it says, she likes posts July, August, and September in 2021 only. And then from October to November, she doesn't like anything, because obviously she's filming. This is 2021. And then in December, she has 1 like. It says the spike in July feels significant because it's around the time Empire Waste was in early pre-production. That's also when they were recording season 1 of Man Enough, and Justin posted the first casting call for Claire on TikTok. So I'm thinking Claire and Liz may have met in person through Wayfair, not via Liz initially. But that's just a theory, because that's when the likes ramp up in July. In 2022, Claire on average liked about 1 post per month, which this is where it seems like she was more of a follower than an actual friend. That's where I was like thinking it might be more parasocial. Oh, Liz and Claire took part in a 2017 Women's March. Liz covering DC and Claire covering Brooklyn. So maybe their links start there somehow, as Liz used Vox to cover it. That could also be true, because remember, Liz was part of the blacklist stuff in 2016. So I don't know how far back that goes. Hi, Joe. Joe is a member. Thank you so much for being a member. I appreciate you. You get a little badge when you're a member, and you get a free little super chat so I can see your comment and I don't miss it once a month. So I appreciate you, Joe, for your support and keeping us going. Liz's eyebrows and Claire's crazy eyes are besties. Yeah, she has some crazy photos. I did pretty good on the clip. They better try to cash in on their favors before the trial is over. If they don't, they'll never see a thing from BLNRR. Okay, yeah, that's funny. I was trying to be cheeky, like, is it another simple favor? Because she did. She liked the another simple favor post, so it went well. So then, what were we saying? We were talking about in 2023. There's this post. It's something about labor or something. We can't afford to pay writers and actors more. Meanwhile, studio CEO pay is through the roof or something like that. And she says, yes, loving the solidarity between unions and working workers across the country. So I believe this is when she starts to comment. 2024 is the year that we see the spike in Claire's likes, and she starts to like all kinds of stuff. But one of the things that she pointed out was that she was liking pro Palestine stuff, which was this one. Let them speak. Permanent ceasefire, bring all the hostages back. And she says, thank you for using your voice for this. Let them speak. This is August 22nd. So is this before or after the call? So we're trying to establish a timeline for the call. DFJ did a really good job on her video where she found a podcast where it was from August 26th that said, I just had a business call and I had to like tell myself to like calm down or whatever. And so she wondered, was that the call? And so for now, I'm keeping that as the time frame of the possible call could have been on August 26th. So maybe this was before, and then that's why that comment irritated her so much to record. My question is, did she record right away, or did she record once he started talking about this stuff? That's what I want to know. So once we can hear that call, which hopefully we get tomorrow because today was a holiday. Um, yeah, August 26th of last year, 2024, which is when he was recorded. Yes, last year. Yeah, I don't understand why she would voluntarily do this to Justin and Wayfair, and why she would voluntarily say that she recorded him pretty much illegally without his knowledge. I mean, it's yet to be verified whether it's illegal or not because, um, she lives in Connecticut and she's there most of the time. So I'm trying to sleuth out if I can find anything online of like where she was, someone tagging her in something, an event or anything to see where she was around these dates. So I'm still working on narrowing down the dates. Uh, yes, you posted that video. Yeah, it ends with us had a stressful issue, so they handled it by not talking bad about it. Um, no employer would want to work with her. Exactly. So it's like, why would you say that you recorded somebody and then, that, okay, so this person was upset with you. But even in her interviews, she's like, I'm a perfectionist and I like things done the way I want them. And like, it's just a lot of the interviews that I've been reading about her don't make her like look in a very good light as far as working with her. Um, oh, she's offended that she called them bats. Leave the sky puppies alone, sir, respectfully. I love you mildly. Okay, so that's the Liz Plank. We're going through all the info on Liz Plank there, but um that's as far as we've gotten, and I'm sure she'll have a better sleuth once she finishes it all out. I don't know how much more she's gonna do on it. And then I can maybe, try and do it. But she does sign that affidavit or that declaration from New Canaan, Connecticut, where she's from. And so I'm wondering, was she there during the time of the call? I still have to sleuth that part out. So let's just get back to. Let me just add this to back to the stage. Remove this from the stage and add this and make me tiny. Okay. Um okay, hold on. Let me see what the next one is. I know we're kind of getting to the end here. Um oh, this is the one where she says again, where she talks about how she gave it to her manager. Where does she say it? She says it somewhere. She says it somewhere in here. Was it up here more? I don't know, but basically she says the exact same thing from the DFJ video where she's like, my managers told me it was too feminine or whatever, and so then she just didn't write it. So yeah, it's giving hard to work with. Um, and now I lost train of thought of where I was going because I have all these windows open. When will the general public be able to see it? Oh, it was when Blue Fox came on board. I was sleuthing that timeline, and it seemed like they came on board in 2021 through Wayfair, probably, which is the distributor, because she has this trouble distributing it. And so I was trying to connect it to where, like, I wonder if in February, because all of a sudden it started to show again in March. And so I'm wondering if she had help distributing it after February when it was included in the affidavit when she handed stuff over. Um, and so this was one that I had saved because it says she was at a development seminar or whatever, August 15th. So I was trying to figure out where that seminar was held, but it might have been an online seminar. Try Anyway is her production company. Um, but that she was gonna be there August 15th, so I was like, "Oh, like, where was it?" To try and establish, like, where the phone call might have been because this is around the same time. But one of the little tidbits as well is that my first job in film, when you Google it and you see the reviews, a lot of people say that it's like a scam, and so it's crazy that she was, working for them. Because someone else also mentioned that she had like stolen like a beret idea or something like that, like some kind of merch idea from another creator or something. So I don't know. She just doesn't seem like the best person from sleuthing her out. Um, let me see what else I have here because some of this hasn't been fully fledged out. I did discover that the movie was also funded by Procter and Gamble and Gillette Venus, gave them $250,000 to fund the project, and also designed like materials to go with it. So here's one of the tidbits that I also found. Okay, sorry. So this is the press kit for Empire Waste. It was uploaded 8/29, and one of the things that they wanted to say in here, most importantly, I wanted to ensure every member of our cast and crew felt safe on set as we navigated the triggering topics in this film. Together, we created a culture of mutual respect and support that mirrored the love and friendship reflected on screen. But then down here where it says production story, it says Claire worked wait to get a wait, where does it say that they were like I think it's right here. Like, oh, production ran an emotionally safe set. So this is what they wanted. This is the story they wanted to be told in the press kit, that they ran a safe set. Why? Is it because this is in August when the rumors were coming around that, that the set was whatever? Because she says Claire struggled with her own body images because of this, creating an emotionally and physically safe set for casting crew was centered during production. Claire also provided content warnings to the crew for tough scenes ahead of time. She made herself available to all cast crew members to discuss. Many crew members and parents were especially impacted by these scenes or whatever. So I don't know. That was just me. It could be something, could be nothing, but she makes a point of saying it over and over in like all her interviews during the press, how safe the set was. The set was so safe. So anyways, I looked into the info on that press kit and it was uploaded on the 29th of August. So I'm wondering if that had anything to do with why she kept saying that. Could have been a nothing burger, could have been something. And then I had, let's see, what else did I have? I had a bunch of sleuthing looking around the time of the timeline info of like what was going on around that time in August when he said that. And one of the things I found was, hold on, I have to scroll all the way down because it. So when he made that comment in August of 2024, what was happening? We know that all the stuff with the cuts, all this stuff, but it was right around the time that they made the thing with the gloves coming off. Oh, let me just hit find and do gloves. Right here, August 12th. They warned WME that absent compliance, the gloves will come off. So if it's after this, do you guys think, tell me in the comments, is the gloves will come off similar analogy to, um, you know, I versus H? I can't say the words, but what he said about the country and that group, that it was similar to that. Do you guys think it's similar? The gloves will come off in that? Like he's basically saying, like, I feel like it's in not in retaliation per se, but I feel like who was retaliating first? Like, was it in retaliation to what Blake said, or was it in retaliation to what it's, was it Ryan who said it, or said they warned? It says Reynolds and Lively purportedly believe Nathan is responsible, taking accountability for. They warned WME that absent compliance, the gloves will come off. In turn, Reynolds tells WME that he would personally draft a statement for Wayfair to release immediately. And so is this when he's saying like he better not even involve the studio in all this? So I don't know. There was a yes, it does feel like there's a bunch of backstabbers. So I know like this isn't interesting to a lot of people, but because it's like it's not gonna matter for her it's not gonna matter for her treble damages or whatever, because it's another instance. And then supposedly in the footnote it says she's going to be a witness in trial. A witness of what? Like you can't bring in past stuff. Um, But was this no, the gloves will come off was an SS. WME discussed yet another between WME and Reynolds. This is a conversation between WME and Reynolds. WME shares that Reynolds and Lively are furious with Wayfair and Baldoni for positioning them as promoting the film as a Barbie film while elevating Baldoni. And they as in Ryan and Blake warn WME that absent compliance from them, the gloves will come off. Basically saying that if they don't sign this, the gloves will come off. And so I don't know. I just feel like when he said that, I didn't take it with as much weight as like many other people would have because I'm like, he's just using an analogy, one that's disturbing, but it's similar to the gloves will come off. Well, I don't know if it was an email, but this is what it says. It says they warned WME. Maybe it was said twice because yeah, there was another one. The text message that said, oh, no, that one was you don't want to play ball. That was from Sony that said you don't want to play ball. Yeah. Yeah, it does sound like that, and it went sideways. It's she's saying Jesse and Max is saying, "It sounds like they try to get the movie rights by making it appear Justin broke the rules of the contract of the book rights, and it went sideways." I don't know, it's seeming like but that's around the same time that that statement was made. Let me see what else I have here that I sleuthed. Um, let me see. The production started and ended in okay, so yeah, we already knew that the production started in 2021. Oh, but something that caught my eye about this was that she said that he was banned from the set or whatever, but here he is November 17th. This is when he's wearing that vest and the green stuff, and he's saying he's traveling back from being on set, and then here he is with the same vest and the green shirt that she reposted in October from 2021 saying like, this is a big dump. Thank you to everyone. And she posted herself with Justin. So obviously the lead actress doesn't have no beef or anything. Um, but where is it? Is it November 19th? Where's that other screenshot? Because basically it ended the one where she likes, oh, I think it's under mine. Hold on. Let me go to home. Sorry. That's the one that I had posted right here. So this is November 19th, and there was 5 days left till the end of production. So that's what? 5 days from now. So if he was leaving on the 17th, that means that there was only a week left. So what, she banned him for a week? Because it says that she banned him from the set. Let's go look at what it said again. It says, I ask Wayfair that Mr. Baldoni not be permitted on set during the majority of production as a result of these experiences. But this is the end of production when she's like hearting stuff. So that's why I'm like, the math is not mathing, you guys, because there was only a week left. So did she say, so was it right after he left on the 17th that she got into some kind of verbal thing with him and was like, he can't come back? Because obviously he was there on the 17th. There's the same vest and everything. So he hadn't been banned because he was there. So there's only a week in between the time period. So I think that's another like big one here. I don't know where I read it, but there was another sleuth that had put it together. I don't know if it was on X or if it was on a TikTok chat. But yeah, so November 19th, she's like, 5 days left, mind blown, replying to him. She didn't have to reply to him. If she had a verbal whatever, she didn't have to reply to him. She could have just left it at that. So, anyways, that was interesting as well. Let me see what else we have here. Okay, I think I have that one. I have that one. I think I've gone over I might have gone over everything, y'all. Let me just double check. What was this one? I was just looking at stuff that was going on in April of 2024. Oh, and another thing I found crazy was that around the same time that that affidavit came out in February, so this article was written February 25th. This is from her college, or I don't know if it's a college, Wellesley, because I thought it said she was a Wellesley grad, but I don't know. This is the magazine, Wellesley magazine, but they print a story, and then a big part of it is about how safe she made the. And this is a year later, right? This is February 25th, and she's still talking about how safe the set was. Where is it? It's right here. Led by heart healing, I was delighted by Lenore's. Hold on. Something beautiful about the making is that she built a community. She spent the last 5 years traveling the country doing table reads. She listened to the people that she made the movie for and created for something, spreading the message of empowerment and community. But yeah, I found it weird that like 4 articles came out in February of 2025 about Empire Waste, and it was a movie from October of 2024, right? That's when it had premiered. And then all of a sudden it was getting releases on the 25th. I mean on in March. Let me see if I can find that post. Um Let me see. Sorry guys. I know I get all quiet cuz when I'm trying to click through stuff. Uh cuz then she starts to say yeah, that it's March. So this is all the theaters that were in there. I can't find that one. Let me see if it might have been in Safari, y'all. It might have been in Safari where I had pulled it up. Is it a Deadline article? Let me see. Well, all I know is that all of a sudden she posts that there's gonna be screenings in March and there's gonna be another screening in April, and this is of this year right after she hands over that recording. So I'm wondering, did they help her distribute it to more theaters? So I'll probably have to sleuth that one out a little bit more. We did have our friends over on, It Ends With Lawsuits, one last one. One last one. Um Oh, did I close it? Oops, I accidentally closed it. But they were basically saying that the signature was digital from her and it was on September 3rd, but the line underneath it says September 4th where she signed the declaration, and that somebody wrote it up for her and then she just signed it, kind of like what's his name? James Vitushku or whatever his name was. Um but yeah, it's really weird that that blacklist post was removed from there. That Medium post from a Blacklist where she developed like, how she got funded and developed it, it's gone. But yeah, I think all of this stuff is just, um oh, this was the screenshot that I had of the bigger, the Killer Instinct play where you see it's, maximum effort, and so why this mattered was because she says that she got on board or introduced to Wayfair through United Talent Agency. And so UTA, we saw what's his name, Ryan with the president, CEO, whatever, at some point in some pictures. Remember when we thought that maybe it was like, oh, like signaling to WME, like, look who I'm hanging out with. It was when he was doing was it Bob Iger and then the CEO of United Talent Agency that he was with. But anyways, UTA is who introduced them to Sarowitz and Wayfair. And so I thought that was interesting that, these names keep popping up. Obviously, it's Hollywood, it's the industry. Yes, not everything is connected, but that's all we have, folks. Let me get back to the thumbnail. But yeah, that is all we have, you guys. Let me do one last look here before we wrap up. Again, it seems like Claire was liking her stuff as early as February 4th, and then the call. So the timeline goes, we have this like on February 4th, then all of a sudden, February 18th, she filed an amended complaint with this new information, this secret recording that she recorded without consent. Let's go look at the questions from really quick. I know this is a really rushing goodbye, but it's because I haven't been with y'all in a while, so I just kind of want to get it all out. Let me share the screen again. Sorry, y'all. Um, when did Claire first meet Liz Plank? We're thinking, I mean, I'm saying 2019, but some people, asshole media that was in here, Jesse and Max, they were saying uh it could have been as early as the Women's March, even though they were on opposite sides of Brooklyn and DC. They were marching in different cities, but I don't know exactly when she first met, but we know that there was at least interactions on Instagram as early as 2019. There was four likes in 2019, and then one like in 2020, and then a couple likes here and there in 2022, 2023. But in 2024 is when the likes ramp up. And then she starts to comment, "Does Claire have any regret?" And that's what we've been talking about. Like, I would regret it because look, now no one's gonna want to work with you if you secretly recorded someone. Like, who's gonna trust that? No one. No one's gonna trust that. Actors won't trust that. I don't know. I feel like that's career suicide to me to put out that you secretly recorded someone. Um, where was Sarowitz when this meeting was recorded? That's what we're still trying to figure out. Was he in Denmark? DFJ was saying that if he was in Denmark, the laws there basically, she couldn't have recorded him there. And then here is what prompted Claire to record her August 2024 conversation. So that's what we're trying to figure out. Did she get prompted to record him? Did she say, "Oh, hey, Sarowitz has a meeting with me"? Was she already in talks with Liz, and Liz talks to Ryan? Did they, say, "Oh, well, you should probably record him," to see what he says? Because by this time, things were heating up. August 2024. This is when Ryan was telling them, going to WME agent saying, Baldoni's a SP, and the gloves are going to come off if you guys don't write the statement and all this stuff. So it's like, were they like, here, try and get something for us from Sarowitz, trying to get him talking? What prompted Claire to give the recording to Lively, and when? Did she give it to her in February? We know she liked that post February 4th. Did she see that, Blake was, in Another Simple Favor and was like, oh, trying to be a pick me, and was like, oh, by the way, I have this recording that she had just recorded for herself? Or did she give it to them back in August when she recorded it? Because if you guys remember, it was August 21st when Leslie Sloan calls Nathan and says, I have everything, I'm going to sue you, which is when Jen Abel's phone got taken. So was that when, word got around, with Liz Plank? I mean, is there a Leslie Sloan connection? I don't know. Why was this recording not mentioned in Lively's original complaint, but rather not until the FAC February 2025? So why would it be in the FAC? Why would it not be in the initial one, but be in the FAC? That's a good question, right? Because I mean, and if they did have it, why would they choose not to put it in there? Were they saving it? Is it like a gotcha moment, like I was recording you? Or where was Sarowitz when this recording happened? Yeah, that was where was this alleged verbal abuse? According to Claire, she took okay. So yeah, what was the alleged verbal abuse? That's another thing. It's like she wasn't very specific about what was happening. So let's look one more time at the chat, and then we will for real let you guys go. She can't be a witness because it's not related. Exactly, Jane. So I don't know, but in the footnote of the filing, the actual filing of where they include the exhibit. Let me see. Did I have it up? Do I have that one up? I might have it up. Hold on. No, I don't think I have that one up. But basically in the footnote, she says, they say this is going to be a witness to the case. Let's see. And what are they going to do on this day and age other than give her the request that JB not be there? It doesn't mean he did anything, just means she had a problem with him. And he still, I guess, kind of marketed the movie. He reposted a poster. I mean, what, that she didn't want him to be there at the events, but she wasn't even at the events because she went to go promote in Germany. So that's what I don't understand. And I think that's messed up to keep someone from the events like that. Like, regardless of whether what was done or what, like, she's still working with Wayfair. It wasn't like she's like, oh, I'm no longer working with Wayfair. She just didn't want him there. It's the same thing with putting him in the basement. Bocce did an impassioned live last night because she was upset that someone was um, trying to say like him being put in the basement wasn't a big deal, because it was a real big deal. That was a movie he had worked hard on. He didn't, I mean, unless it was something like crucial where there was like super like sh where it was like what she's talking about did not deserve putting him in the basement. It could have been they could have walked the red carpet on separate sides or whatever, but yeah, that was just not cool. Telling her to modify her diet would be verbal abuse. Telling her that health matters, so eat natural foods, not junk, is abuse. I'm not kidding. Yeah, that could be it. And Alicia Van Gotten over on TikTok. There's a lot of cool people over on TikTok, y'all. I've been hanging out on TikTok a lot just because it's quicker and easier to, um, like, I can hop in and out, and like the videos are much shorter. So with my time that I have, like my busy week, I've been consuming TikTok a lot more than YouTube or X. Because X, you can scroll and there's a lot of reading and you have to like really pay attention, but you can literally watch like a 1 to 2 minute video super quick on TikTok. But anyways, Alicia is a screenplay supervisor, script supervisor. And I don't know if she worked on It Ends With Us. I think she might have. I think she's worked with Blake and she's worked with Justin, I believe, because she said she was giving all the tea, and she said Blake like doesn't treat people like humans, that she doesn't even look at them, that like she says she'd prefer, like, because they asked her like who's the meanest actors you worked with, and she named a couple of them, and she's like, are they worse or better than Blake? And she's like, Blake is the worst because at least like when someone's being mean to you, they're acknowledging you, but when someone doesn't even acknowledge you as a human, like, it hurts more. So that's what she said about Blake and working with Blake. And anyways, I asked her a question because we were able to ask her questions, and I asked her a question about whether the verbal abuse could have just been like feedback or misconstrued, and she said absolutely, because this is her first film. She's green. So she's never directed a film, she's never been on a set, she's never, so if the producer is her boss, oh, because that's what I wrote. I was like, could this have been misconstrued as like something her boss told her that she took the wrong way because her boss is telling her to do something? And she already said it's hard for her to take feedback and that this was her baby and all that stuff. So I'm wondering, was it just like with Blake? All of a sudden she cries abuse when he says, hey, Sony has a problem with the wardrobe, and she flips it all around on him. That's where it's still going to be my Roman Empire and the hill I die on. Is I think that's where it started. The moment that he told her she did something wrong by going with that wardrobe, she retaliated and was like, okay, now I'm going to put all of it on you. No way that I'm going to go down with Sony. You're going to go down. And because that's where I feel like it all started. If you go all the way down, all the way back. Yes, I want to hear the recording because I want to hear the tone of voice. Exactly. No, verbal abuse is not illegal, Joe. He said I cuss all the time, but she's just trying to, I guess, establish a pattern, and that's why a lot of people said this is just for PR, because it can't be used for anything else. This is just a PR thing. And Claire, like, you done messed up. I know people are like, don't go to her Instagram and don't da da da, and I agree. But I told Bocce when she was, saying that on live when I was on Saturday, I was like, I'm still gonna stay on her neck, because all these people who are coming out and doing all this stuff, we deserve to know exactly how and what happened. Like, if they're going to put out the story, how people are like, well, don't deep dive into her life and don't deep dive, because when I first named Claire, I believe in the comments of that live that I did, a lot of people were like, oh, she's just a normal person, like, you shouldn't like deep dive on, like, let's leave the normal people alone, like, no, it can't be her, blah blah blah, leave her alone. And I'm like, at that time, obviously she wasn't named, so I could see why people could say, she's a nobody, like, don't mess with her and don't deep dive on her. But now that she's come out and she knew her name was going to come out, it couldn't be sealed forever. If she's going to testify in a trial, I'm staying on her neck, y'all. I'm not disrespecting her. I'm not going on her Instagram. I'm not calling her names, but I'm gonna do what we do, and that's sleuthing, and that's how I got into this. I started by sleuthing, and um, I love the sleuthing part. This is one of my favorite parts of creating is the sleuthing stuff. And I wish I had more time to sleuth, but shout out once again to Past Nomad at Past Nomad on X. Let me put the X link here again. At Past Nomad on X. Because she was sleuthing and helping me out. Like if I had a question, I'd be like, well, what about this? Because we also were sleuthing. We found another Easter egg on Liz Plank and Justin Baldoni, which was we found another time where she liked to post in 2020 because she didn't start the Man Enough podcast until 2021, but they did like another podcast for her channel in 2020. And so we're kind of establishing that friendship and how that went down as well too. So shout out to Little Nomad on X. It sounds like a good movie that could benefit people. Yes. I mean, it does. It sounds like a movie that could. Let's see what else. Look at the group initiative effort, and he's got physical graduates inside UTA working physically. Yeah, so that's weird, the UTA connection, because that's how she met Wayfair. And I get it, because a lot of people are like, oh, you're just reaching, because, it's Hollywood, everybody's connected. Is it possible BL learned of the existence of this woman through PR communications that she got through Vandermort? Because you know what's funny? A lot of people are like, Vandermort Day was September 27th, and that was the day of the premiere. So I don't know. To me, my final answer for this, and you guys drop all your theories in the comment if you're gagged by the Blake Lively Another Simple Favorite connection, like that she liked the post. Drop it in the comments. Make sure you guys comment on your way out because it does help the algorithm. And I'd love to hear your theories because it was really cool to go back to the mystery declarant video. A lot of people commented and they had their predictions and who they thought. It was really cool to go back once. Nag said there's no way they would allow her to testify. No, because it's past stuff. Can SS file a criminal privacy violation against Claire for? Yeah, he could. He could file something. I know that depending on where they were, whether it was legally obtained or not, he could. He could file something like that. And that's why they want the full recording. They're like, quit messing around, quit playing games, quit filing stuff under seal, quit, being vague about stuff like, oh, it was verbal abuse between Baldoni and his associates. Well, who's the associates? Was the associate Starowitz? And that's why she was in fear of him wanting to talk to her? Because he was one of the people that she had named? Did she go to Blue Fox? Is that what happened? Did she go to Blue Fox and say, hey, Baldoni verbally abused me. I don't want him part of the marketing? Because who was in charge of the marketing? Is it the distributor or is it the production company or is it both? Anybody know? It ends with sleuth. Oh my God, I love it. We need to make merch like that. That's a good merch idea. I'm gonna pin it. I'm gonna star it so that it's on my it's in my studio so I don't forget. It ends with sleuth. Where's the people who make the song? Somebody needs to make a song, but she volunteered to be Blake's sacrificial lamb, Joe. And that's why I said she called it another simple favor. I'm gonna give us another 5 minutes. It'll be an hour and a half show, which is, a lot for a morning show, but we had a lot to get into. It takes all of us carrying buckets of water. Yes, like we're all working together. And that's what I'm saying. Like some of the questions GFJ posed sent me down the rabbit hole. And then when Nomad had sent me the stuff about Liz, I said, hey, if you get a chance, because I'm not going to get a chance, I'm going to be super, super busy. Like the weekend, if you get a chance to sleuth that out for me, like I'll give you a shout out and, let's work together on this. And she was so, so sweet. She's like, yes, CJ, I'm on it. And she was out and about too. So she didn't even really get on it till yesterday. And we were up late back and forth, messaging each other like, wait, what about this? Because I was like, wait, does it go back even further than that? Because Asshole Media said that, it's attached to Blacklist or whatever. And then that's when we found the 2019 stuff. Yeah, no, I wouldn't go to her page and be ugly either. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I'm going to stay on her neck and see if her story matches up. Oh, it says, go to Claire's page and nicely thank Wayfair for the movie and just don't mention Claire at all. Just thank Steven, Justin, and Wayfair. Trust me, that'll make her more mad. Yep. Teamwork makes the dream work. Yes. And Jesse and Max, that is a good idea. Thank you, Joe, again for being a member. Every time I see Joe's name all lit up. She doesn't take criticism well. That's why she cussed the agent about what was said about adding men. Yeah, and then she threw a tantrum and didn't pull the script up. And I'm wondering if the script was for someone, because it was like she almost says it in the storytelling that like somebody wanted the script. She's like, yeah, I'll write something up. Give me a month. And then after she wrote it up and had it done, then she didn't want to like put it out. And so she goes into therapy and has to deal with all her body issues and stuff. And then she moves in with her parents. And the timeline is interesting because it gets picked up in 2019 and then it takes a year for it um to get a distributor. No, wait, let me see. I had it right here real quick. Oh my God, Russian goodbyes. I had the timeline. So it says, hold on, where was it? Sorry, y'all. Last one, I promise. Okay. So May 15th, 2023 is when Blue Fox obtains it. But I did the timeline. Wait, it's before this post. When did they come on board? Because I was trying to figure out why it took so long from 2021 when the film wrapped to 2024. And I had put it into ChatGPT. Sorry, y'all. And they had and it's funny because A Nice Indian Boy also came from Blacklist. I saw a bunch of scripts in there that are movies that were already made. So that's really crazy that they all came from there. So so principal photography took place summer of 2021 to December of 2021. And then they were in post-production with Wayfair for the final cut through January 2022. And then in May of 2023, Blue Fox came on as the distributor. So they didn't even come on with the distributor until 2 years later. And then in July of 2024, they announced the theatrical release, which was that summer when all this stuff was going on, which is crazy that a lot of the stuff happened August 8th, even like them uploading some of the promo and August 8th was a very busy day for Wayfair and the whole scandal. So I don't know. It's just interesting. And this is something that I recommend you guys do too. Oh wait, did they change their name to A Nice Boy? Is Indian was it like too much of a could is it like a race issue or something? Yeah, she does. She says it's because she had emotional issues that she just stashed the script away for 4 years. And then she brings it back in 2019, I guess. So it was 2015 to 2019. So it could have been did she meet Liz in 2017 and told her to submit her script to the blacklist or whatever? I don't know if you submit it to the blacklist. I'm not sure how the blacklist works, but anyways, she says it's literally about a nice Indian boy. I don't know. These days, everybody gets offended, y'all. Like, it's crazy. So there you guys have it. There's Claire Ayoub's connection to Blake Lively. We did it. February 4th, she liked a post for another simple favor. And the next thing you know, 2 weeks later, exactly 2 weeks later, February 18th, the recording that she provided is provided in the first amended complaint. So I'm gagged. I don't know if y'all are. When I saw it, I was like, holy crap. I mean, the Liz Plank collection, it's still adjacent, and it's more Baldoni adjacent and, like, because she kind of backstabbed him. But this is a direct connection of Claire at least knowing of Blake and liking her post. And so it goes to the theory that, they were friendly. Appreciate you, CJ. We missed you. I missed you guys too. I think that's why I'm hanging on. Like, just one more minute. Uh, Oh, there was confusion amongst American viewers because American people thought Indian was Native American. Mm. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, I'm telling you, everybody gets offended these days. All right, you guys, I appreciate y'all being here. Please, like I said, hit the like if you're not subscribed, because I do have about 70 people here today. And we have a big crowd for the morning, especially a holiday morning when people are sleeping in because they don't have to go to work. So make sure you hit subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Hit that like button and leave a comment at the end, because it does help the algo and helps get everything going. And we'll talk more about what we see in the future, because I want you guys' opinion. Maybe I'll do a poll on the community of what kind of content I can pivot to, as far as like that'll be better for like my balance of in real life. And because I don't want to abandon you guys for too long, but I also can't abandon my real life for too long, because then things start to, add up, and then I get behind on that. And so I need to find a balance. So if you guys would like more like just like kind of like what Perez does, where it's more like Face, or like Bocce does, where it's just like me just talking to you guys and less production, or if you guys want me to stick with the production but maybe do it every other day, or just like on the weekends, like a weekend wrap up, like maybe Friday, Saturdays, I can hang out with you guys. Let me know in the comments, okay? So I know y'all watch to the end. Let me know, and I'll do a poll or something coming up too to see. I'm gonna try and stream tomorrow. I can't make any promises whether I'll be on tomorrow or not, but just check in, and I will try and put together something for you guys. There's a lot going on with Spencer. Maybe we'll do a medley. The Drake stuff, I want to talk about how that was dropped, and how I think this lawsuit might get dropped as well, because of the PR implications with Drake and UMG. There was implications to the music industry, and with this one, if Blake wins, there's going to be all kinds of implications for the PR industry and what can and can't be done and all this stuff. So I don't think it would be good for them, the Leslie Sloans. So a lot of it, I feel like people were saying Michael Gottlieb was just trying to take Drake for his money, and I feel like the same thing might be going on here. So we can deep dive more on that maybe tomorrow. So I'm going to try really, really hard to come back on tomorrow, guys, because there's also updates on the David stuff, and Spencer Pratt, a lot of tea on that just came out over the weekend as well. So I appreciate you guys, and thanks again. We'll see you guys tomorrow, hopefully, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.